Welcome to our Sports Friends, the final podcast, guys, before our World Cup in Qatar 2022. Right, this is our final podcast, and then we'll take a 1 month break. Final
Hmm.
preview show. On set we have Dima,
Yes,
Dre,
sir.
Money Pan Me
Yes.
Brain, Liverpool.
Which
Well,
is
God,
right.
well,
Um, yeah, man, big up Josh, and for everybody who are going to tune in, big up everybody in the comment section. Like the man say, money for my brain. This Liverpool news, boss, it got me over the top. So if you see me act a little hype, because the
yeah,
new
man,
money
Money Pan
coming.
Me Brain. And we talk a
New-
little bit more that, a little bit about that. And for those who are joining us, our commenters, big up Cadence so far and Dale Francis with his Blue Moon Rising. So since our one of our gurus saying money on our brain, guys, those are betters. Yeah, you can listen out for our predictions and hopefully you can win some money before the World Cup comes in. This is a final chance for 1 month to win some big money in the leagues across Europe. So the first game we have tomorrow, Dima, is
Mhm.
defending champions Manchester City versus Brentford, and that will be at 7:30 a.m. Jamaican time. What do you make of that game?
Listen, I know people are going to say, listen, Fulham gave City a challenge and all of that kind of stuff. I don't see Brentford causing a lot of harm. I'm going to go for an easy victory for Manchester City. There's still doubts over Haaland for those FPL managers out there. Pep just come out and say, you know, he's a bit better. Pretty much that's what he's saying. And I mean, he said that last week and he was on the bench, and he said that the week before and he never in the squad any at all. So we know that City can win without Haaland, but it was actually him who came on to score the penalty. Well, he actually scored two. One of them was ruled offside. So he doesn't need a lot of chances to get on the score sheet. So whether or not he starts, I think Alvarez is a good deputy for him. He's in amongst the goals as well. I think Tony for Brentford. I'm not sure if he's back. Was he on a suspension?
Oh, Ivan Tony.
Yeah,
He was on a suspension.
it was a one-game suspension,
I
or
want- Yeah.
okay, so he should be back. I mean, once you have him, there's always a chance of a goal here and there. But Manchester City will run away with this one. I'm going to go 3 goals to 1 to Manchester City.
And with regarding Brentford, right? They normally have an open approach towards their game in terms of attacking style, right?
Hmm.
Is that behind your prediction, the fact that they're going to be open up going to City likely, so it's easier
Yeah,
for City to play against teams like those.
exactly. I don't see them changing the way how they play. That manager, he doesn't. He's not going to change his approach. Um, Shout out to Raya. He made the Spain squad going to the World Cup, so I guess that's big for him. But on the flip side, what state of mind will Ivan Toney be in not making the World Cup side? I don't know. Maybe him still a think about
Allega-
the option. Huh?
And
When I
also the
hear you,
allegation, and also the allegation regarding the gambling with
oh
Tony,
yes,
Ivan Tony. You heard about that?
yes, yes. So I
In a
didn't
comment said,
follow it.
saying that I'm aware of a story about me in a national newspaper today. That's the Daily Mail. And trust me, guys, my favorite newspaper, but the Daily Mail is very terrible in digging up allegations about persons. I have been
Yeah,
assisting the FA with their inquiries and will not be making any comment until such investigation has reached its conclusion. I am a proud Englishman at it. And the Daily Mail, it is Daily Mail is claiming that Tony has been the subject of an FA investigation, which is still ongoing for months. He's said to be gambled on games that he played in. So they're saying
yeah.
that he actually gambled um, on Brentford games, and that's a serious allegation.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very.
So I guess a lot of things on his mind. I mean, I know him
Yeah,
just say he's a proud Englishman, but him probably just need to be a proud Jamaican now and come home.
yeah, he need to be a
Because
problem.
I mean, I mean, people might say snubbed, but he didn't make the cut for the World Cup, and his mind can be all over the place right now leading up to the City game. So I'm going 3-1 to Manchester City.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah.
Um, what are your views on the first game tomorrow? Welcome, Ryan
This is the first.
and Bones.
This is the first game, right?
Yes, first game, City versus Brentford.
Okay. I hear you guys talking about City doing a Trippier. Remember Trippier got banned for the same betting thing when he was at Atletico Madrid. Probably I will not forget about that part. But yeah, as I say, a lot of things can play on his mind. That, along with the England snub and so forth. But I mean, let us see. We don't know because anything can happen. Maybe you can use it as a motivation to say, okay, you guys don't miss what I can do here. And you know that the door is still not closed per se, but I don't want anything to happen to any players, but anything can happen. It's still one round of games lead. Just want to put that out there. Anything can happen. I don't want anything to happen because if I was a player right now and I'm selected for the World Cup tomorrow, I call it sick. I have flu, a cold or something, I can't play. But these players, they are different because I remember they asked, I think it was Wilshire they asked yesterday on a panel, and he said that even if he was selected, he'd still play and play with how he always playing away, which is what caused him to retire at 30. So anything can happen, and hopefully it does not affect Tony, and he plays to his optimum, and we have a good game tomorrow. But for that game, I am going with Demos pick up 3-1.
Okay. Arsenal. What to talk about that game?
I wish game we are talking about.
Manchester City versus Brentford.
Oh, I'm a giant late, you know, because I think more that I think the time change I mess me up, man.
We just start, man. Don't worry.
2-2.
What?
2-2.
What's
We
your
say
rationale?
Manchester City, Brentford, you know.
Yeah, me know that you say. I say 2-2.
What's the rationale
oh,
for
What's your
2-1?
behind that?
Yeah?
I think say you start a joke out this show. I think you think it's a comedy bus thing.
You come on, you not even say good night.
No,
Boys.
Nobody is not no more comedy boss than you will come here every week and say Arsenal are gonna lose to these little teams, Nottingham Forest and all of these teams and draw.
Did
Man,
Arsenal draw with the worthless Southampton? Yes or no?
yes, we did, and it's
Okay.
our only draw for the
Did
season.
Arsenal lose to Manchester United?
And we
Yes or no?
also lost to Manchester United, who are who's progressively struggling here every now and again. Yes, we did.
Good, but what rationale do you have to say that Brentford will draw 2-1? That's how we
I
want.
just have a feeling that Brentford will probably show up tomorrow, and I'm going off the fact that 90 or 100% of the City players they're in the World Cup, and they probably won't want to get injured tomorrow, you know. So I'm going off that. That's what I'm going off, and I'm going off Tony proving his word tomorrow against a good City team. You allow me to finish? You're not even say good night yet. I'll know.
Boss,
You
Tony
understand?
play tomorrow,
But still
brother.
not say good night, boss.
Because it's still a talk garbage. When you start talking
What you
success,
mean
it's still a night.
garbage? What you mean garbage? Eh? Yeah, me just believe say I want to draw tomorrow.
Bro, Ivan Tony is not playing tomorrow.
What you mean he not play nothing tomorrow?
What will look now?
So is it the case that all of you guys are expecting all the games to be tentative? Because it's the final preview, final fixtures before World Cup.
Kinda, because when you look on the top teams, them almost 90%, 95% of their starting 11 are got the World Cup, right? So players are going to look around and probably say, well, man like Sadio Mane this week got injured. No players going down here and there, whether it's just a knock at the needle here and there. Players will be tentative going into the last game tomorrow. I believe that's what I believe. So
If that's the case, then that's not a good sign for the gamblers, betting persons. Kims, what do you think about that game?
So, first of all, Josh, thank you for having me on. Good night.
That voice, yeah. Welcome. That voice.
Josh, let me tell you. Normally, when Levon is here, you normally make Sherwin go last because you want to start the show strong. You can't make Sherwin go first. And we have new viewers come on and say, "Oh God, this one of my sense. Let me just clock off, right?" So
You said good night. Yes. You said
you
good
want
night.
Sherwin
Yes.
go last because just the comedy man, the comedy is right. Listen, um, what I will kind of agree with him, like probably 20%. Obviously, it will be in the back of each player's mind, um, about getting hurt. But these players are professionals, and you understand. Say one thing I know, and anybody on here who plays sports, you see when you play scared, that's when you more forget hurt than if you just go to go play, right? So, for example, when you look at the City team, Haaland is not going to the World Cup. He'll be out there ready to score goals against that Brentford team. Um, but obviously, the other players, Phil Foden, Grealish. Grealish I go, right?
Yeah, Grealish
Yeah.
going, yeah.
Yeah. Although him not really get much game, but him will go. And Alvarez, a lot of those persons are going. But again, they know that they have a job over here for the club, and then after when you do the club, then you go to World Cup because persons can go in the first game of the World Cup, you get hurt, and that is it, right? Or you get hurt in a training session, training for the World Cup, and that is it as well. So I just think they go out there and play. But right, this Brentford team is absolutely no competition for Manchester City. Obviously, I think Haaland will be back in the starting lineup. So those who have the fantasy, you know, I had to make. It's so funny. I had to make one substitution, and Calvert Lewin injured. I'm gonna take out. I'm gonna take out Haaland to put in Harry Kane. I'm gonna say, John, I can't put back in Haaland and leave Calvert Lewin. So I'll just keep Kane in there. I'm gonna pick Jesus. So hopefully Jesus can come up and Jesus can come up and give us something against
You
against
pick
Wolves.
you pick Jesus versus Wolves for score.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
why
Wow.
not? Why not? Anyway,
Interesting.
um, so but when I look at that game, Josh, again, Manchester City, they know that they're behind Arsenal. I mean, obviously we know that Arsenal is going to, drop the button just like they did for top
Mhm.
four last season.
Yeah, profit now.
So it's just a matter of time. I'm giving my opinion, sir. So it's just a matter of time. Obviously, I still think Manchester City is the best team in the league, and I think it's a top three team in Europe. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, and he made this statement at the start of the season, and I'll reiterate it. He said, "You can't win the league before the World Cup, but you certainly can lose it, right?" And I think that goes out to Liverpool because we know that for a fact Liverpool cannot win this Premier League anymore, right? I don't know why about this shit keep going. Yeah, Liverpool can't win it anymore. And now City has put themselves in poor position to after the World Cup, obviously with injuries and so if everything goes well, they can make a run and try and win. So I'm going this game will be an easy City win. Josh, I don't know if I was trying to look it up, but obviously, Ivan Tony is being investigated for
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier regarding betting allegation.
gambling and all them
Team.
something. And as Jamaicans, what them always say, if you not go so, it nearly go so.
Yeah, that's
Right?
right.
He might always get himself in some little, come on, as a professional footballer, you want to make the World Cup team, you stay away from all of those bangarang. But hey,
Yeah, and
I'm going,
trust me, you're making millions of pounds.
of
Here.
course,
Why would you want to do betting on your team?
exactly, load that for
Yeah,
little,
yeah, load that to
load that for we are
yeah,
trying to
load
come
that
up.
to
We are
50
make millions
local
of
team.
dollars.
Yeah,
But I'm going 6-0 for this game. This will be a
6
walk in the park.
Listen. This,
6
hey.
nil. Yeah, but regarding the tentative thing I said earlier, I don't think Pep is not going to be allow his team to be that tentative in that game tomorrow. He's going to
No.
go all out for that win.
And
Um,
then if you look at and then you look at the type of you see the thing is with a Man City, you see if they were playing against a team that is more rough house, more wild, would I say, all right then probably. Well, I don't see Brentford as a wild team, going out there for, making rash tackles and anything like that. So I think, and I think the way our City moves the ball well, moves the ball quickly, and everything that they do in the passing game. I think the players will be fine, but I just think it's going to be a 6-0 thrashing. Could be more, but I'm going 6-0 Manchester City.
So
Um, our,
how,
our next game,
So
Dima.
Dima game picks already.
Yeah, man, Dima.
everybody get them
Dima.
pick. That's why I'm
Boss,
saying,
boss,
you
on
know,
the
say good
late.
night.
Remember, so on the late, Zine? So we did a
Dima,
lot of things before no come. All
Dima,
right.
what was your pick? What was your pick, Dima?
3-1 to Manchester City.
3-1 to Manchester City.
What was score for Brentford?
I don't know. I can't predict
Tony,
that. I just know
Tony,
say one I go score.
Tony.
Okay.
So with you, Demo, we have our next 10 a.m. game will be
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth, a very tight match versus Everton. So that's 61 and 16 points and 114 points, right?
Mm.
What do you make of that game? That seems to be very tight.
No, well, I actually think this won't be tight at all. I expect a lot of goals in this game. Listen, Brentford, they conceded 4 goals to
The
Leeds. You know,
Bournemouth,
we say Bournemouth and
yeah,
Everton.
Bournemouth and Everton. They're
Yes,
not
sir.
Brentford, it's Bournemouth.
So I say a while ago.
Brentford.
Brentford.
No, a Brentford, I say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brentford.
Yeah, well, Bournemouth conceded, 4 goals to Leeds, and they were so in charge of the game, 3-1 up, looking like they're going to win the game comfortably. And Leeds fought back, and they're just leaking. Everton, on the other hand, they're not scoring a bag of goals, yes, but I expect against this Bournemouth team who seems to they have the one of the we call it most expected goals against for the team along with Fulham. They accept a lot of chances on them and all of this kind of stuff. I know they had a good run of form and Solanke scoring and that kind of thing, but I think Everton, the more defensively solid of the two teams, will get the better of Bournemouth, and I'm going for a 3-2 victory, high
And
scoring game, but
so I scored the game.
But
And what you make of
Everton to take.
reports that Bournemouth is looking to maybe looking at signing Bielsa as their coach. What you make of those reports?
Mia
The
asked?
Yeah, Dima, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know of that report at all.
Yeah, there seems some to be reports today that they are looking at Bielsa in the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were talks about giving the current interim manager the job because of the upturn that Bournemouth had. So I never thought of this Bielsa thing. I don't know if the players there are even kind of Bielsa type of players, but I guess he will get them for run and insert all that energy that Leeds team that he had. Him can get that happening, I guess. But I think that they should stick with the one that they have right now. I mean, he's done a decent job. What his name? O'Neill? I don't remember
Yeah.
his name.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever his name is. Yeah. What I think they should just stick with him. He did wonders for them, and yeah, see how it goes from there. Bielsa, so.
All right, Kems, what to make of that game? Bournemouth versus Everton.
Um. So I think I personally think Everton will win this game. Dima say, it's going to be exciting for him. I think the total opposite. Because I think Everton is a improved unit defensively. Obviously, the England international, who I believe, probably Ming should have edged him out. But that's an argument for another day. But I think Connor Cody is probably the seventh best centre back in the league. After Mings at number 6, of course. But looking at this team, as Dimo mentioned about that 4-3, they were up leading 3-1 and then end up what? You said them lose 4-3, right?
Right, they lose
Yeah,
4-3 to
lose
Leeds.
4-3. Again, these things might seem very simple, but I think it plays a lot on the psychological aspect of it. Like what else can we do to win? Because I think because they played midweek as well, if I'm not mistaken. They played didn't they play in the some of the
Yeah.
Everton,
and they
I win 4-1.
yeah, they win. Yeah, they beat Everton 4-1, right? So, and I think they were on a 5-game winless streak, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a stats man, but I think it's something like that. right? So, going into that game, up 3-1 against Leeds, and then no, you lose 4-3, you come in again. And it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat the same team. And we can say, oh, the different players, a lot of changes, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's hard to beat the same team twice, especially in such a short span of time. And obviously, because managers have gotten fired. Obviously, Steven Gerrard got fired. I think Lampard kind of going under the radar. We're not hearing about him that much. But I think this is a game that he needs to win. Obviously, I spoke about the fantasy earlier. Calvert-Lewin, them same out until most of December 26. So I don't know, that man can stay healthy. That man, Levant him turn a model. So I guess he's now a model more than a footballer. But again, I think Everton with their improved defense. I think this game is a low scoring game. Demo rate Solanke, but if fantasy owners, if you now have Solanke in on the team, take him right out. This is not the game for him. I'm telling you guys, not the game for him. This is going to be a 1-0 Everton win.
All right, Bones, Mr. Arsenal. Let me know.
Listen. We're talking about. Wait, first of all, Josh, you said Bournemouth Everton, right? So Bournemouth at home, because I didn't look at the fixtures.
Yeah, Bournemouth is at
Yeah.
home.
Everton not winning that game, despite the fact that Everton has been gradually improving, especially defensively, and with Iwobi Iniesta in the middle of that midfield. They have been looking really good, right? Going forward, but they're just not clinical enough in front of goal to convince me to go over to the Cherries tomorrow and win that game. Yeah, defensively they are good, but that's just about it. And if you probably check their record on the road, they haven't been winning a lot of games on the road either. Most of the games that they're winning is at home that they squeeze in by, right? And that's because of the atmosphere at down there at Everton, right? So for me, um Everton has started to struggle a little bit now. What I think they've gone a couple games without winning now, right?
Yeah.
And they're going down to Bournemouth, and it's never easy going down there, especially with a Bournemouth team that was on farm dipped and then trying to regain farm, see if they can get 3 points before um the World Cup begins. So for me, I think Bournemouth will come through this one, and I'm actually going for a 2-1 Bournemouth victory in this one, and that's the basis of they're playing at home. They're not a bad team. They have a little bounce going for them, and they're starting to see a change in terms of finishing higher up than 18, 19, or 20. So that's good. So I think they and again, what Bournemouth will be looking at is that if they can get through this one tomorrow and get 3 points at home, that would give them a real push for survival. And I don't think they're going to come out and just roll over and die tomorrow. So I'm going for a Bournemouth 2-1 victory.
Yes,
So let me,
Levon, I was saying that. I was saying that Bielsa is basically on the cusp to take over Bournemouth. It
so let
seems.
me, so let me ask you something, Sherman. So you think that this game will put them in great if they win this game? We know they're not going to win, but like for your sake, they win this game. This game is going to put them in pole position for survival. Is that what you're saying? That's what I'm hearing.
No, what I'm saying and what I continue to say. First of all, let me help the viewers to understand that I am not a prophet. I'm just a predictor, right? So at the end of the day, I'm not
No,
prophet like some
duh.
man in white shirt. Anyways, because
Yep.
already you know that they're not going to win the game. I don't know how you know that. I don't know if were you on the plane in Manifest? You watch that show, that series?
Captain
You see
Obvious.
things.
Captain
My
Obvious.
my
Anyways, um, what I've been saying over the past couple of weeks, Kems, is that if you're going to battle to stay up, you have to beat those who you're going to battle with. That's what I've been saying over the past couple of weeks. And Bournemouth at home, if they want to stay up, they need to beat Everton because you're going to battle with Everton based on current league position, you're going to battle with Everton to try and stay up this season. You beat them, you're in front of them going into the World Cup break, and that would be good for them. So that's why I think they will not come and roll over and die, and they're at home. So I think life is going to be hard for Everton, and I actually believe that Bournemouth will win the game.
So one more question, and Josh, me not take over your show, but me just have to ask you a
Come on,
question.
man.
So let me ask you a question, Sherwin. So let's say Bournemouth win this game, 5-love. They will go into the World Cup. You think when the season resumes, this 5-love momentum is going to get them kick-started for after the World Cup? This is just me asking.
It could, and it can, and it cannot, right? It depends. But for the sake of you wanting to stay up, you have to beat who you think you're going to compete with. And I think that they are going to compete with Everton. And when you look at the table now, when you look at the current table, you just have to beat Everton. You beat them, you're in front of them. That's one stepping stone. Yeah, we know that the season is a long season and things can change. Twists here and there. Yeah, we know that. But if you can't just take it as, oh, I come this week or whatever if I beat Everton or not. No, it can't be that. To beat them, you're in front of them going into the World Cup. And that's just it.
Just asking, boss.
All right, Ryan, what are your views on that game?
Well, I don't think it will be like the midweek game. I think it will be a closer game. Everton will bring in back some of them stars, quote unquote stars. So it will be a closer game. I don't expect a lot of goals. I don't expect more than 2 goals. And that being said, I'm looking at 2 score lines, maybe a 1-1 or Everton winning 2.
All right.
You got,
Yeah, right.
boss.
Internet, Ryan, internet.
All right. You will say that is expecting a what? 2-1 Everton win?
Him say a 1-1. Him say either a
1-1.
1-1 draw or a 2-0 Everton win.
Yeah.
I think Ryan phone ring. That's why him thing cut out.
All right. Our next game is Liverpool in with 19 points in 8th
Money,
position.
yo.
Will be at home, right? Liverpool
Yes,
with
sir.
the expected new all owners.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and they will be at home to one of the bottom 3 teams, Southampton, on 12 points in 18th position. That seems like an easy win for Southampton. But may not be for Liverpool. For Liverpool, but for our betters. What do you think of the game, Dima? Your take.
All right. So first of all, I think we're not gonna talk about the money thing tonight. I guess we're gonna do a whole show on that. See, very exciting stuff for Liverpool coming. But Liverpool has what 7? I think we have 7 players that's going after the World Cup. I'm telling a long time. Say Van Dijk probably a save himself for this World Cup, why he's been so timid from a long time, right? And when Bones come and mention it, I said to myself, yeah, man, I'm glad that people are finally catching on that some players are reserving themselves. This is probably their last World Cup. As a human being, when you think about it, listen, you don't want to risk getting hurt.
And them first World Cup too.
Eh?
Also, them first World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. So, as a human being, you can empathize with that. But as a fan, like Van Dijk, you have to do better and whatever. But Southampton coming there, I think players will be timid, especially the 7 that's supposed to be going to the World Cup. But we have to be beating Southampton at home. This should be a walk in the park, like you say. It should be an easy victory. I think Southampton are very toothless in attack. They just don't look, Well, you know what? Before me even say that, I'm actually going to change that because I just remember that they fired the manager, and every time people want to come up against Liverpool, this new manager bounce thing come.
Yeah, new
And
manager.
so I'm going to change it and say it's not going to be a walk in the park anymore because Mega expects a Southampton. I will get that new manager bounce that people talking about. So I'm going to change that. I'm not going to go for a high score anymore. I'm just going to go for a simple 2-1 victory to Liverpool with Darwin Núñez on the score sheet and Mohamed Salah continuing to prove his haters wrong and his doubters wrong. Continue to put the ball in the back of the net, and Liverpool we're going to concede as usual. And we should be buoyed off that penalty shootout victory against Derby in the midweek, only to run up into Manchester City in the next round, but it is what it is. And yes, so 2-1 to Liverpool, and we'll climb.
Tell me something. Salah is playing closer to goal now.
Yeah, him play up top with Núñez. Them change the formation, so he's not out wide. He's playing as a 2.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And just for your sake, information regarding Southampton new manager is Nathan Jones. So he's from Wales, and he used to coach Luton in the Championship. Ryan, what do you make of that game? Liverpool at home to Southampton.
So 2 Wales managers now in the league. Wales managers.
Yeah,
New manager bumps will happen, obviously. For some reason, it tends to always happen. I don't think it will happen to the extent that they will beat Liverpool, because Liverpool is at home, so I'm going to give them the edge over their academy. So I think that Liverpool will come out winning, but I don't think it will be an easy win. They will struggle as usual. They have been struggling all season so far for some reason, for the most part. So I think I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool as well.
Mr. Arsenal.
It's like people don't remember that the Liverpool that we're talking about now is a struggling Liverpool. Every week we come, we have high expectations of Liverpool, and they always, every week they disappoint us. Like, this is a struggling Liverpool team, and people just have to wake up and realize that. And until we wake up and realize that, they will continue to struggle, especially for the Liverpool fans. I'm not putting any hopes on Liverpool winning that game tomorrow, to be honest. They have not shown me what they have shown me over the past 5 seasons, this season so far, and that's the honest truth. And they have been really poor, even against Tottenham. Even though they dominated the first 45, they could have easily lost the game in the last 45 minutes. So at the end of the day, I don't.
So that makes sense. So that makes sense. But listen, we're not gonna allow this, boss. How that makes sense? That's why Kim said Josh to save it for last. How that makes sense? We could have easily lost the game. Like, how that makes sense? Tottenham alone get chance. We never get no chance. No, Liverpool never get a chance.
It shows how poor you guys were in the second half of that game.
Did we get any chances in the second half?
Hey, Demo, we can't bother with the emotions when they come on to Liverpool.
We'll stop talking nonsense. We'll stop the nonsense.
Emotions. Me know me have a spot where you want right now, but it's fine. Just relax, no brother. Let me give my prediction for the game. Jeez, Lord. Anyways, Liverpool has been struggling all season. After 14 or 15 games, they still don't have 20 points and all of these things, while other top clubs have more than 20 points. So they've been struggling, and that's the reality of what is happening, right? So I'm not putting any hopes on it. So, but I'm going for a 1-1 draw for Southampton come tomorrow.
Josh, just for the new people who might have come in, could you just put up Liverpool's last 5 games or stuff, because we've been struggling them, say. So just put up the last 5 games of Liverpool in all competitions, please. Just for the new people, them. Just for the new people, them.
Why would you put up that about a team that's not in the top 6?
Exactly.
Why time for put up Liverpool last 5? You guys are not even in the top 6. Your team is not good. Your team is
hold on.
Your team is not good. Anyway,
boss,
boss.
No, Joshua do something. Boss. Wait, I ask the producer something. I understand. New people are come watch the show. The man just analyze and say Liverpool have been poor the whole season. I am saying, for the new people who's coming in, let us show the facts of what is actually happening.
When the man say Man City I go draw 2-2 with Brentford. Me never see you ask about me could line up Man City versus Brentford last
Yeah,
last.
but
No,
Man
what
City
it
are
is,
number
listen.
team.
What I'm
Man City are
saying,
number
Demo, is
team. Why
that
am I gonna do that?
your team is in 8th place, 7 points out of the top 4. There is no reason for us to glamorize anything about Liverpool. Oh no, good. No,
Oh Lord
don't
of
talk about that.
mercy.
No,
Josh, you find the
me get a
stats. Josh, you find the
hey,
stats. Yeah?
May I do some research to see what
All
in,
right,
in,
thanks.
in EPL or what?
The last in all
In all
competitions.
competition. Okay. All
Yes.
right. Kims, what's your view on that?
yes, yeah. So listen, Sherwin is not all the way wrong because again, we have watched Leeds destroy that 29 unbeaten streak at Anfield. That a certain person came on here and talk about this is Anfield. This is an easy win for us, and we saw what Leeds did. We also saw what a team who is in the bottom 3, Nottingham Forest. We saw what they did to Liverpool as well. So again, Sherwin is not entirely wrong, probably a little bit incomplete, but he's not entirely wrong, right? This is no walk in the park. What I must say is that I came here week in, week out, and I asked Demo, what is wrong with Salah? What is wrong with Salah? And now I'm seeing Salah firing, which is good. I think he has 5 goals in his last 4 games, which is really good. And, I kept him in my fantasy, so it's now paying off for me. But this game, there was a player that we spoke about, and I said, there is no way this player could ever make it to the World Cup. If England's serious about the World Cup, there's no way this player can make it. And, so said, so done. And he is a captain of Southampton, and this man is just not good. Right? So that reason within the midfield, I'm saying that, and again, Demo talk about, but we also must look at the fact that Southampton drew with the current league leaders, right? We have to put some stock in it. They drew with Arsenal. They gave Arsenal a tough time, and there was a person who said, "Oh, the team lacked depth. We did tired. We never know what to do, or we need more players on the bench and all of them kind of stuff, right?" So again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't think that Southampton will win this game. I just don't think they have enough bullets. I know there's new manager bones, but new manager bones when you have quality players. And personally, I don't think Southampton have the quality over there right now. They might have little sparks here and there. So right now, I'm going for a big win going into the World Cup. I am going Liverpool 8, Southampton nil.
And just to let you know, the stats with Liverpool and Southampton.
Hey,
Liverpool have won their last 5 games.
No, say it louder for the people at the back, because
Liverpool
them
has
say.
won their last five
Oh,
games.
all right, thank
Josh,
you, thank you.
Josh,
Listen,
in the
hello,
process,
you finish talk, You say we've
happy
been
nice.
struggling. You
Josh,
say we've been
Josh,
Yeah, all
struggling.
of that
can you
happiness
check
now. My
there?
time now. I'm told.
Oh, in there.
One another chat.
Our,
The
our,
invest
our,
there, man.
our,
I'm told.
our residential host is here.
Man, them big up on yourself. Long time no see you now.
Mm.
But when I realize that a beer crap still a going around here, Demo still emotional, Bone still a make sense. Kim's emotional with them 8-0 pick there. I'm to them brother yeah, man.
bro.
But anyways, yeah, me I say. Yeah, tell them about Southampton and Liverpool. You say Liverpool beat Southampton the last 5 times. But say just the other day in a 20th game, well not even 20th, a whole heap of game Liverpool and beating them yard and still said God go beat them. So yeah, talk about Southampton for the win tomorrow.
All right, thanks for your input.
Ryan, Ryan,
But,
what's your
but,
about
but
that game?
Josh, when me ask if it's show him, tell me the last 5 matchups versus Nottingham Forest, please.
Really? We're not really in for that.
We have all that
Just
mate.
my
We
league
that
now.
compete.
Let's
What you
move
mean?
on. We have other
You,
games to discuss.
yeah, we
Move
know,
on.
but me not
No,
What
that's
literally say if
unnecessary.
you go
That's
do it.
unnecessary.
But when me
None of that
no, we
unnecessary.
know, no, Ryan, I know it's not necessary, but
Why
what
not
he
necessary? Why
asked
we are
for
doing
is
this? Why
also
are we
not
doing this?
necessary.
Yeah,
What
But
he
why are we
asked
doing
for is
this?
not necessary as well.
I know that Liverpool lost the last game to Nottingham 1-0, but apart from that, Nottingham was in the league before.
And they had a 1-0 win last season at the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
move on after that.
yeah,
What we are
So,
doing?
exactly.
Ryan, what
Where
do you
that
think
is
of that
belong.
game?
You're asking madness.
So, yeah, Ryan, what do you make of that game?
Oh, I gave my opinion already. I said 2-1 Liverpool.
Oh, you said 2-1. Okay, so our next fixture tomorrow will be West Ham at home versus Leicester City. That game seems to can swing either way, but Leicester is in fine form winning the last 4 games. But in the middle of that game, Mr. Arsenal.
Yeah, this is a tricky game come tomorrow. Brendan Rodgers is on a bounce. We know that on a given day, West Ham can be really, really, really good. Um, I, whew, I'm going for a 2-all draw in this one tomorrow. Whew.
Okay. Ryan, what do you make of that game?
This game really can't go anywhere. West Ham is playing hit and miss football. Leicester seem to be getting back a bit of form. They are basically heading to mid-table now. So they have played their way out of the rut, and the players have decided that okay, it's a whole season, might as well just turn up and play. So they are playing now. So this game can really go anywhere. Leicester has lost James Justin potentially for this season. He was playing very good he was not back to his original self, but you can see where he was coming back into some form. So this game can go anywhere really and truly. So I'm going to all.
All right, Kims.
Yeah, what's really ironic about this game is that a couple weeks ago we were talking about Brendan Rodgers being out and the team not playing for him and blah blah blah. Now, obviously, West Ham have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Their last loss coming against Crystal Palace 2-1. West Ham is now down to 15th in the table, right? And 2 points clear of relegation, right? And again, the owner come out and say, David Moyes, we're not going to fire him. He's our guy. But if we know one trend about the EPL, every time our owner come out, he's our guy. 2 weeks later,
That's why.
Right?
That's why them call it the dreaded vote of confidence.
Yeah, man.
Yep. So, this is a big game, right? And it's only a big game for David Moyes because, again, what Brandon Rodgers started the season with, if he didn't get fired then, I don't think he might get fired again. I think he'll just ride out the season and then whatever happened after that happened. But I think for David Moyes, going into the World Cup, because I think, dependent on what happened this game, and I said the same thing about Steven Gerrard, but if Leicester is supposed to win this game, let's say they win this game 3-0, push West Ham down more, I think down more, probably closer to the relegation zone, because now they're only 2 points. So obviously teams below them would have to win or whatever the case may be. I think the owner looked long and hard in this World Cup and said, boy, do we really want to continue with this man? So I think this is a must win or a must positive result for West Ham. Either get a draw or a win, right? And again, the other man that I criticize heavily, Mr. Rice, must show up in this game. Must show up. This is a game where he has to show up, where he has to lead, where he has to, go ahead and, do what he's supposed to do. Antonio, again, I not even know what happened with Antonio, honestly. Look like him cold like ice right now, look like the scammer take over. Jared Bowen, I need more from Jared Bowen. I really need more from him. I know he's probably disappointed that he never made the World Cup squad, but really and truly, really and truly, he just didn't do enough. If he had the same form that he ended last season with this season, I think he would have made the play. But unlike some other players, he just never make it. So I think these players need to step up. This is an important game. They have to show that they want to play for the manager, and obviously they want to play for themselves. There's absolutely no reason why a Leicester City should be now sitting right. I mean, Leicester is just 14th, but they're above West Ham right now. I want David Moyes gone because a lot of people say, "Oh, I just Manchester United was the problem. Look how I deal with West Ham. Look how West Ham played good ball." So I'm going with a Leicester City win, 2-1.
All right.
Just one little interjection here, just to substantiate Kev's point about Moyes. Even though Moyes, the team finished good last season, I think they finished 7th or so, or 8 2 seasons straight, they were not playing to their potential. Some of the players who should be playing better were not playing. I don't think West Ham were playing to their full potential. You have certain players who can play a certain way and play better, and you're holding them back. And it's a league season. So I don't think Moyes has maximized West Ham, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and Moyes has always been conservative most of the time.
I'll say this about Moyes. Again, I like give managers a grade, and a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a B plus manager." Absolutely not. This is a D plus manager. He's a D plus manager. If I'm starting a team and I want to win things, I'm not picking David Moyes. I just don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough quality. When he came to Manchester United, under the voucher from Sir Alex. I think that was one of the worst things that ever happened. I think that started the downfall for Manchester United because he's just not good enough. He's one of those managers. I think he should manage a Nottingham Forest or a Leeds or them like a team that we're not really going to win. But I just don't think he's good enough. And I think after this loss this weekend, I think that's the end of his job, and he can enjoy the World Cup like everybody else, and find another job elsewhere. But let's talk
People
to
normally refer to him as a mid-table manager, but seems like you're saying he's a bottom-table manager.
yeah.
All right, Dima, your former favorite coach, Brendan Rodgers.
Boss, every time you're gonna do that, brother, like when yeah, so James Madison and Declan Rice obviously buoyed by their World Cup calls. James Madison have been doing excellently for for Leicester since they're starting to turn the corner, if you want to use that term. I think it's going to be a good game. And James mentioned Antonio a while ago. Him give the game against Crystal Palace last week. What a horrible last minute of the game, 1-on-1 to cut the ball into about 17 West Ham players in the box, and him chip the ball straight in the keeper hand for him to go on the break and Olise to score. I don't know what has happened to him. He's really out of form, and obviously it showed by Skamaka taking his place and doing well. I think that Leicester City will just have enough. Shout out to Danny Ward. He started out so rough in goal for Leicester City. People say, you can't keep him, no fair keep for high school, that kind of thing. I think he has like 5 clean sheets out of last 6 games or some madness like that. So shout out to him as well, gaining confidence and playing. So I'm going for a Leicester City win, and I'm going for a 2-1.
Yeah, and sticking with you, Dima, our next game tomorrow will be Nottingham Forest at home versus Crystal Palace. What do you make of that game?
Brr, that's tough. I'm
Really
going
tough matchup.
Crystal Palace. I mean, like I said, I think Nottingham Forest, they have become a lot more conservative than when they just started the league, trying to play expansive football and using all of those new players that they got, trying to figure out their style. And they came up on with the Liverpool game how long ago, and the style was completely different, and it just shows that the manager is willing to adapt to each team. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, like I said, buoyed off that victory against West Ham in the last minute from Olise, Zaha getting on the score sheet as well. They look like they're getting up there under Vieira. I'm going for a 2-2 draw, but I can't because Nottingham Forest is at home, right?
Right, yeah.
And yeah, I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Mr. Arsenal.
Captain for life always have a tendency to go away and do well versus these teams. For some reason, I don't know. But I've been kind of disappointed with the results of Crystal Palace this season. Lost a few games that I think they should have won. And stuff like that. But coming up against Nottingham Forest, Nottingham Forest will be both. I think both teams will actually be very confident going into this one. Crystal Palace beating West Ham at the very last minute last week, even though they lost in the EFL Cup in midweek. But Nottingham Forest beating Tottenham in the EFL Cup, I think that would have done wonders for their confidence going into this one. So I expect that it will be a good game. It won't be a dead game. And I actually think I'm actually going with a 2-2 draw again for this one. I'm not seeing a winner for this one. I'm going with a 2-2 draw.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, this game, both teams can play freely. They don't really have anybody to win the World Cup. So not much to worry about in terms of injuries and all of that. So I think both teams will go out and play ball freely. Uh, this is one of those also that can go both ways. I expect goals to be scored in this game, so I'm gonna go with a nice 12 draw.
All right, Kims.
Well, I'll say this: 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4. Right? And I've watched Nottingham Forest locked out Liverpool. Mohamed Salah, all those attacking players. I've also watched Nottingham Forest locked out Harry Kane and all those attacking players over Tottenham. So why is it I'm going to believe that Zaha and those persons can break down this Nottingham Forest team? All right, I think as Sherwin alluded to, I think Nottingham Forest have especially Jesse Lingard with that nice goal that he had against Tottenham. You know that man is always killing the London clubs. Nothing new. But looking at that, I don't see Nottingham losing this game. I don't see them dropping any points. Obviously, they're tied with Wolves at 10 points in the league right now, bottom of the table. 3 points will be massive for them. So I'm going with a Nottingham Forest 2-0 victory to lock out Zaha, like how they locked out Salah and they locked out Harry Kane. And this is not something I'm making up. The proof is in the pudding. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the game. Why are you making up your face up here, sir? You smell doodle?
Because you're not making any sense. They didn't lock out Liverpool.
Okay, what was the score for the Nottingham game?
They won 1-0, but they didn't lock us out. They missed clear-cut chances.
Well, did you score?
No, but it's not because they locked us out.
So,
we are trying, like you say them keep a clean sheet, but they never lock we out.
So what does lock out? What do I mean by lock out?
Well, say clean sheet then, because right now you confuse me, because me see Trent Alexander-Arnold get a clear header at the 6-yard box and head the ball to the keeper. There are other millions of chances that they created.
Yeah, I saw Man City get millions of chances against Liverpool too and never score, and you jump up and you come celebrate the 1-0 and you put up in your status quote hashtag we climbing. You see that?
Yeah,
so again we can go back and forth all the time. But what I'm saying
them lock us out.
Liverpool did not score against Nottingham Forest.
All right, that's way better. That's way accurate.
They locked them out. So that's what lockout means. They locked them out. They didn't score.
Okay.
And they locked out.
Americans would call it a shutout.
Well, shutout, lockout, same difference to me.
What
did they do against? What did they do against the big manager, Conte and Harry Kane and all of those people? Lock them out too. Lock the door, couldn't score upon them. 2-0 under them. What did they do against the big? I am urgent. I'm Klopp and Salah and all these players for me. Lock them out as well. Trent Alexander. Oh, he's the best. He's the best attacking right back since sliced bread. Lock them out as well. So again,
just say them keep a clean sheet, the boss.
Boss, lock them out, brother.
All right,
if you continue,
boss. Van Dijk. Van Dijk alone by himself should have had a hat trick in that game, and then for the remember the game then.
Boss,
but all right, it's all right, fine.
But Henderson dig them out, don't it? So now lock out, man.
Yeah,
cool.
They can't really go around the meaning of the terms there.
Listen, Josh. Josh, would you agree with me that they'll lock them out?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, but the way you make it sound, Kate, is like we weren't creating any chances.
Jamaican things.
No. So hold on, Dimo. Let me ask you: when you play, when the team is playing, are you more proud of the chances they create or the goals they score?
The goals they scored.
Did you score against Nottingham?
No.
Okay, thank you. Lock you out.
All right, fine. Okay, carry on.
All right. Continuing with you, Kems. Our next game will be Tottenham's. That's Spurs at home versus Leeds United. And do you think Leeds United is capable of locking out Spurs?
Oh, definitely can't lock them out. Leeds can't lock out. I just see Bournemouth score 3 goals and them can't lock out anybody. But this is what I'll say. I'm really worried, and this is for all fantasy owners, including myself. I'm really worried about Harry Kane. I see Conte come out the other day and say, "Oh, I had to take him off. He was so tired. He was exhausted, and and obviously, the World Cup start just around the corner, or 9 days until the World Cup. But you look at it, what does Tottenham want to do? Obviously, they lost last week, against Liverpool. They come midweek again. They got locked out against Nottingham. So now I'm looking and I'm saying, But no, they're going up a Leeds team that love to concede. So I think Harry Kane will play. Obviously, taking him off, I think that was just get him fresh for this game. I'm going for a big scoreline for this one. I'm going Tottenham 6, Leeds 2.
All right. So you don't think Tottenham will be conservative tomorrow then?
They can't. I don't think they can afford to be conservative, because right now I think the Arsenal's running away from them. The Man City's running away from them. The Manchester United soon run away from them. The Newcastle is up there. So I think right now, the top 4, obviously, Chelsea, they're not up on the hot form now, but Chelsea's always in that little mix. So again, I don't think, as currently constructed, Tottenham can afford to drop any more points, especially against teams like Leeds and all them things. So I think they need to come out and give a strong performance, and I think they will. Harry Kane hat-trick out there. Hey, Levon, we know you have to use up your thing, then use your triple captain and Harry Kane. Can't say we never do nothing fear in our life. Triple captain Harry Kane. He's going to get a hat-trick.
All right, Mr. Arsenal, what do you make of that game?
Hey, me can't understand them, a man come on the show and say a man figure last because a comedy. Then this man just come and drop 3 big scoreline tonight and expect say people must believe him. And man figure triple captain struggling Harry Kane tomorrow because he might score struggling.
Yeah, but do we agree that Harry Kane is struggling now with 11 goals for the season?
Harry Kane have 11 goals.
No. Me talk current form. Me not really depend on.
No, Harry Kane scored against Liverpool, boss.
This is Harry Kane's best start ever.
All right. He not struggle.
This is Harry Kane's best Premier League start ever.
Argument don't know. He not struggle.
Hold on, you come like you have a thing with the word struggle. You just say Liverpool have struggled them last 5 games and them win them last 5 games. Now you say Harry Kane has struggled and the man have 11 goals and just score against Liverpool.
All right, Kemps, you get your 5 minutes. Me have match tonight. Me go through this quick. Zin? Right. Hear me when I say no. Boy, Tottenham for me right now. I can't have them a play one style of football where just now work out for them right now.
Them win the group.
They have been that are Champions League. But they have been the thing is they have been really effective with it, and it's like an Italian team. They remind me of an Italian team that knows how to win a game even when they're playing bad. That's how Tottenham coming after me this season.
Well, your manager is Italian.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that, right? But we have to remember, that even though, as Kem said, Leeds will concede, like this Leeds team, they don't stop fighting. They will run for the entire game and they will fight non-stop. That's the thing. You understand that? And I think that's going to be. And if this Tottenham team come tomorrow and believe that they're going to sit and play the negative football that they continue to play throughout the season and get a point or 3 points here and there, versus this Leeds team that does not stop running, they're in for a big surprise tomorrow. And if that is the case, I am going with a Leeds win tomorrow. I'm going with a Leeds 2-1 victory tomorrow, if that is the case. If not very importantly, if that is the case, Tottenham come out and play that negative football that they have been playing all season, they will lose tomorrow.
All right, Ryan.
Okay.
Well, Tottenham will be coming out and playing that type of football, and Tottenham will be winning comfortably. Because here's the thing. Leeds will come out attacking. I think the Jesse bunks over right now, to be honest with you. Leeds will come out attacking. Tottenham is the most efficient team in the Premier League so far. When I say efficient, I mean they create, in terms of chance created and chance converted. They don't create a lot of chance, but they convert most of what they create. So if Leeds give them 8 chance Tottenham going to score 4 or 5 of them. And Leeds is going to give them chances because Leeds is going to leave spaces. Spurs is going to sit back and capitalize on the spaces that Leeds leave. So I'm going 3-0 Tottenham.
Remember Harry Kane struggling, and Son out. Who gonna score them goals? Who gonna score them goals?
All right. So
Dima.
so here's my thing. And I think Bones is half right because Tottenham they do play a type of football, but it's only for half of the game. Because the first half of every single game, it seemed like Tottenham, well, most of the games, it seemed like Tottenham, like they don't wake up yet or something. And it was evident in the Liverpool game. Like, first half, we were all over them, and it was just so consistent leading up to that game as well. And it happened in our game. But second half, Tottenham came out a whole different animal. And sure, they were chasing 2 goals and whatnot, but it's been happening throughout the whole season. Like they start first half of games very slowly, and if Leeds are able to capitalize on that in the first half and probably get a big lead, they might have a chance in the game. The thing though, which is unfortunate for them, is one of the main men of the Spurs team is back, and Kulusevski he's just a real danger. So him and Kane linking up again. It's going to be too much for Leeds in the end, and I'm going for a 2-1 victory to Spurs. I think they'll just have enough to hang on and win the game, but Leeds, they will fight coming off that too late victory against Liverpool and against the last team who them beat Bournemouth. So and it was Somerville. So it's going to be an exciting game, but I think Kulusevski will be the difference in that game. 2-1.
Wait there, Dima. My boy, they never get picked for Spain. Rodrigo.
No, you see, nobody remind me about that.
What you say, right?
Honestly, bro. Honestly, don't remind me.
Bones, Michelle saying, man, how you telling English fans that Kane struggling 9 days before World Cup?
Yeah, I mean,
There are
never,
actually 3 English fans on the panel.
me never realize, cause after Michelle say, me start count, I'm here say, oh Lord, 3 of them. I say, Lord.
Yes, Bones. Yeah, you have a warning.
Easy yourself.
Our 12:30 game.
One of 9-11 going out that women struggle.
Yeah.
Right.
Our 12:30 game will be that one will be very, very interesting. Probably the game of the day. That's Newcastle, the high riding Newcastle, at home to Chelsea. So basically the 2 best English coaches.
Huh?
in EPL.
What you say?
Do you agree with that? The 2 best English coaches.
No,
I agree.
me not agree.
I think they're the 2 best English coaches. Graham Potter, and
They are.
Eddie Howe. Yeah, 2 best English coaches.
So
Brian,
up to Southgate.
game.
So getting a league, Brethren.
In the league.
Yo, something wrong with Bones, you know, man.
I think you said 2 best English coaches,
So
full
2 best
stop.
English coaches in EPL. Ryan, what do you make of that game?
The game, well, Chelsea always struggle at Newcastle from Jose Mourinho days to now. Chelsea always go Newcastle and struggle. We win there 1 and 2 times, but that's not the norm. The norm is to go to Newcastle and struggle. And right now we are struggling, and we will continue to struggle.
So you don't think that might be break tomorrow, though, given that you guys have won like last 4 or 5 games?
I think the only thing is what that is in our favor right now is law averages. We have lost 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we struggle there a lot. So law of averages is in our favor, but I don't know if it will be enough for us to win. We might draw, but I don't have that confidence. So, and Newcastle is playing very well. And Newcastle fans, them loud and vulgar already. So them going loud up there. So 3-1 Newcastle.
All right, Dima.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Ryan. I mean, I don't think the law of averages are gonna save him. are gonna save him and the Chelsea fans at Newcastle are absolutely flying. They might catch a break because Callum Wilson actually came off early. And obviously Isak isn't there as well. So they might have to deal with Chris Wood, which is a lot easier than dealing with Callum Wilson. But Almiron is on fire. Bruno Guimaraes is on fire. Like the Newcastle Trippier is on fire, and he's like, everywhere you look on that Newcastle team, there's some quality there. And obviously with Saint Maximin back, there's always more firework to get. Chelsea, on the other hand, they just I don't know what it is. They have so much quality, and they just don't look like a team that knows their
The team is
identity.
mismatched, Demo. The teams
Yeah,
are
like
mismatched.
I just can't see an identity for Chelsea, and that is very weird for the quality that they have in the ranks and the coach that they have right now as well. So I'm not going for a 3-1 victory, but I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Newcastle playing at home against Chelsea. And I need to start out Havertz before the World Cup, please, and thanks.
All right, Kims, your boy's
But
back. Said Maxima. Said Maxima. What you made of that game?
You notice in this Newcastle, with Newcastle ascending, St. Max name has been the least mentioned name. Or Demo alone mentioned that name around here. When you
He's
watch
been injured. How am I going to mention him name and him did
eh,
hurt?
my point exactly. My point
Okay.
exactly. My point exactly. He is not, Demo would have us believe that he was the reason why Newcastle was doing great things. Demo would have us believe that without St. Max, Newcastle would go down burning. And what I'm seeing is that in spite of St. Max, Newcastle has been ascending. Right now, they're in top 3. So all I have to say, Josh, I think we can all agree that I was right on St. Max. An average player who just go and do a bunch of plateau over, but
Oh,
not very effective. Not very effective, right?
Not we all can. I don't.
Well, listen, you not agreeing with me, that's really a
go
compliment.
and ask Manchester City if they agree with you this season. Go and ask them.
Well, again, if we go ask Manchester City, let's ask Manchester City about Tyron Mings as well. We can have that same argument because Pep Guardiola himself come out and praise Tyron Mings and say that,
Reggie,
oh,
it's Chelsea and
hey,
Liverpool.
tell you to be
Mings don't
careful
play for none of them.
when I mention certain stuff. Listen, what I'll say, when is it that we're going to have a conversation about Graham Potter? I think now we're starting to give this coach too much credentials without any major work. Okay. I was once down on Eddie Howe, right? When Demo started talking about him, unfortunately, when I started looking, looked like I am the jinx. When I started looking, that's when Bournemouth got relegated. So again, I was like, no, this guy, what kind of big coaches is getting relegated? So then now I'm sitting back and I'm watching this Eddie Howe guy. 1, leader of men, big leader of men. 2, big man of identity. When you watch Newcastle playing the football, you know Newcastle identity. 3, always put the players first. Always. Eddie Howe will hide at the back and all of the players up there getting the praise. Whenever him lose or don't get a favorable result, Eddie Howe present himself up front. No, I'm looking at Graham Potter and I've been watching this man from Brighton. And they're telling me, oh, this is a good coach. Oh, he should coach England team. Oh, this and that. Oh, no, he takes the job over at Chelsea. And I'm saying, this man, good coach, okay coach, but what has he done for us to label him a great coach? What has he really done? No, him come over and him take over from Tuchel. I was expecting when this man take over, when not even
So
see,
who
we talk
is labeling him a great coach though?
Levan, Ryan. May just talk about in our
This is great. The word great.
I said great. I've never called Howe a great coach.
You
Yeah.
say he's the best English manager. The best English manager.
I
in
not
the
even
league.
go as far as we say that.
Well,
That's
who
When
said,
when Potter got the Chelsea job, I said no. I need to see what he's made of. That's exactly what I said.
then obviously the little puppet them in the English media and them love him. Oh, he's going to show Tuchel how to run this Chelsea team. And I'm looking right now and I'm saying, okay, Tuchel, now you have it. Go ahead, show me what you can do. Now you have a big club. Now the spending is no problem. You can get any player you want. The club is attractive. People want to come play for the club. Now I want to see what you can do. And I've been watching him week in, week out. I'm not seeing the in-game changes. I'm not seeing, okay, Chelsea is struggling here, so, okay, now after halftime, let me see an in-game change.
That's not true. He has done that.
I've not seen it. Probably
The first 9 games, the first 9 games were unbeaten games, and he has done that within those. Especially those one. No, that is why he went on that run. Because he had some. Remember the Aston Villa game where we had struggle. Aston Villa beat Shatterham away, and he made some changes.
What I'm seeing with Potter, right?
Caused us to win that game.
Changes, and how he set up his team is working perfectly fine in Champions League, right? Because they were struggling before he took over in Champions League when they lost that first game.
But actually, Yeah, go finish.
What the other point with him too? The only ball move I've seen that from Potter this season is against Manchester United when we were dominating that game at the beginning for the first 25 minutes, and then he I think he took off. Who was the player that he took off again? And then brought on another midfield in order to keep the balance.
Yeah. When we were playing,
it was all over them. And
in
the 30th.
Yeah.
That's the only
that's why I was getting. I think he has done a lot of in-game changes more than not.
Demo. Okay. When we look on the Arsenal game, that 1-0 was not indicative of how the game was going.
No,
Chelsea was outclassed for 97
minutes. Especially the first 45 minutes, they were outclassed.
It's like they were, and I'm saying, and I'm just looking, and I'm saying, boy, because them tell me same great. So I'm saying, boy, no, if this was a Pep, if this was a Klopp, if this was even a Jose Mourinho in their prime, there is something that would have been done in order to stop this bleeding. But then again, even against Manchester United, remember, United not good. Even against Manchester United, Chelsea was totally dominated. Even against the same Aston Villa.
Not totally dominated against. We were not.
Even the same Aston Villa, we're going to win against.
We were dominated against Villa. We were not totally dominated against Man U.
And I'm saying never get dominated against United.
In spells, but not totally.
Until he made that change. That's what.
So you think the 1-0 scoreline was a fair scoreline for them?
Yeah, of course, clearly.
I think United lost that game.
Yeah, you're a very disingenuous man.
You were fortunate to not lose.
Yeah. No, they were fortunate to not lose.
What?
In the first 25 minutes.
Boss,
and we had chance. Okay, the first 35 minutes was Man U.
Yeah.
Easily, clearly. Second half, Chelsea were the better team in the second half. And we created chance in the second half.
You're slight.
Wait.
We couldn't be like the past never happened.
So hold on. So Man U fans are claim say a Chelsea get to when a Uno score in like the last week.
Demo, but again, Demo, that is what you see. That's how you see when you just look on the scoreline. But when you look on
I watched the game.
You watch the game and that's you think.
No, but he's right. The first half was the most dominant, but Chelsea grew into the game second.
But I've seen
his ball move change that game though.
But just one thing though, Kems. You mentioned Howe got a transfer window. Howe got 2 transfer windows, right?
Yeah.
2. Potter hasn't got no transfer windows yet.
I thought that Potter came in before the
so that's an unfair comparison. Potter came into a team that was mismatched.
Yeah,
the transfers that were made in the summer, them never made no sense. So right now, you basically have to try and make do with what you have. After the guy get a window or 2, then that's a fair.
Even before Eddie Howe got that big transfer window, as Eddie Howe, you felt Eddie Howe's presence as soon as he touched the club.
Eddie Howe came in November and January and get a window. Within 6 weeks, him get a window.
I'm not even bringing it to January. But
we could say the same thing. The same 9-game win. Potter went on a 9-game win unbeaten streak.
Yeah, but
it's the same time period. It's the same time period. It's the same time period between November and January.
Sure.
It's the same time period that.
Okay, out of those 9 games, how many of those were wins? Because we love talk about.
I don't know, about 6 or so. About 6.
Steven Gerrard went on a 5-game unbeaten, but I mean a draw.
Yeah, but about 6 of them, about 5 or 6 were wins.
All right.
I think one of the criticism of Potter, right, where I might agree with Kems on certain points, is that Potter is, even when they were winning those 9 games or drawing some of those games, he's playing players out of position. Right?
Yeah, but who did ever play in a position?
Like Raheem Sterling on a right back and
No, but if you look at Sterling's map, hold on, no man. If you look at Sterling's heat map, Sterling is not playing right wing. Sterling is the furthest one forward.
All right. What? And then you wonder some of the decisions that he's making.
So it's the way them line up on paper, look like. Right. But when you watch a game itself, Sterling starts wide and goes and cut inside. So he's not playing out and out right wing.
Until let's say Brighton, Potter takes Sterling theme Trossard boss.
Yeah,
Just
it's
do what he
weird.
used to do with
Weird.
Trossard.
I think he's trying to
But
he's trying
Sterling, I
to
don't think that role
experiment
fits
a lot. He's
Sterling because
experimenting a lot.
Sterling don't have the skill to beat people like Trossard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't
exactly.
think that role fits Sterling. Sterling is a top in person.
I think Potter is doing a lot of experiment with this
I think so too because of the team that he has.
the team that
Yeah,
he
but
has.
he
And
has
I
to.
also
He
think
has
that if he had that summer window, he would have not signed like players like Obama. That's my view as well. As well as
Well,
Koulibaly as well. I don't think he'd have signed those players for Chelsea.
well, what I'll say is that
That's summer.
again, we'll have the conversation again later. But again, I think we need to pump the brakes before we start just giving out credentials to these managers that accomplish absolutely nothing, right? But for the game itself, right? Um, Almiron, that man have scored in 4 straight games. I don't know. And they gave him an interview and he was saying that, it has nothing to do with Jack Grealish. But I know, as human beings, have a little something. What Jack Grealish said, you hear them think they're
It touch a nerve. It touch a nerve.
yeah, man. You hear them think, right? And but he was very classy when he said, "Hey, Jack is a great player. I wish him best. I wish him all the best this season. But my thing is down to hard work, right?" And I think head to head with Aubameyang and Newcastle, I think he scored like 6 goals against them. So he normally score against Newcastle. So I guess this would be a good game for him. I haven't felt his presence since he's been at Chelsea. He made that bold statement against Arsenal. Nothing, I'm blue now. Nothing personal. And you see Arsenal clap back. Who was it? Gabriel? Was it
yeah,
Gabriel who had
Gabriel.
clap back and said
Yeah,
nothing personal and
nothing
things? So,
personal.
yeah. So this is a hard game to pick, and for those out there who are betting, gambling on this game, this is a game that you just leave alone. You're not about to touch it. You just watch the game because I think it can go either way. As Demo,
Or they can go for Newcastle to score at home, just to score a goal.
Again,
With chance.
Callum, as Demo said, Callum will also come off. No, that brother they were just come from Isaac. Him not play either. Like, it's a hard game.
Chris Wood to the rescue.
And we already know the limitations of Chris Wood, right? So looking at that, this more look like a draw game, because Newcastle, they don't concede goals for fun around here. Trippier is great around there. Obviously he looks like the starting right back for the World Cup. But with Southgate,
Our left back.
who knows? They probably see our Kyle Walker, Trippier, Trent around there. Who knows a Southgate? But I'm going to just go with a 1-1 draw for this game. I have absolutely no clue, but I'll just go a 1-1 draw for this game.
All right, Ryan, high flying Arsenal in the late game tomorrow, right? So we have a late game tomorrow at 2:45 p.m. Jamaican.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's like weird.
8 o'clock after 8. No, 7. Because I'm 5 hours now.
2:45.
7:45.
And Arsenal will be away to Wolves, right? Do you believe that Arsenal will win that game? And
yeah, I do believe so. Yeah, I do believe so. Wolves will have the same problem that they've been having all season. And until Lopetegui comes in, I don't see any potential change in terms of their playing style and they're winning any games right now. But luckily for them, it's only one game that they have to leave between now and that time period. So for me, I think Arsenal will win this one comfortably, at least 2-0.
All right, Dima?
I'm actually going for a 1-1 draw in that game. I think Arsenal will drop points for the 3rd time this season. So I think Wolves will find some defensive solidity. They'll concede the goal, but I think that they'll score as well. So I'm going 1-1.
All right, Kems?
I have Arsenal winning this one, 3-0.
3-0. All right, Dima, Brighton at home versus Aston Villa Sunday morning.
Yeah.
9 a.m.
That should be again an attacking, free-flowing game that is set up to be on paper. 2 teams, Unai Emery, flying. Well, I mean, he got beat by Manu yesterday in the cup, but I mean, he started off really well. Leon Bailey flying, and
that's your boy. He's in form.
Well, there's a lot of controversy about him and the elbow, and then he retaliated yesterday in the cup game and showed a kick and a lot of things I talk about the man. But listen, boss, if you play any competitive sport, listen, boss. If somebody did that to you, you have to get your retaliation at some point in time. And I thought that's exactly what Bailey did. The man over him must stand up and the man slipping on him foot and say, relax a little self. I just saw it go, don't elbow me. I just saw it go. Like, gonna just relax, Manchester United fans, all up on the feelings, but him never elbow the man and him just there. Some nonsense in here talk from Manchester United fans. And I'm just glad to see Leon Bailey playing well, and I'm hoping that it will continue. He came off the bench in that game and he made an instant impact with that own goal from Dallo, who again is having a good season. So I'm going to go, boy, Brighton are flying. Ooh, it's going to be a tough game. I can't call a winner, so I'm going to play it safe and go for a draw. I'm going for a 2-2 draw, Aston Villa and Brighton.
All right, Kems, do you think that Leon Bailey is going to score tomorrow, and do you think it's a good idea to put him in the FPL team?
So before I answer your question, Mr. Host, I want to say that I publicly denounce my Aston Villa fandom. Once they sacked Steven Gerrard, I'm no longer a fan of the club. I still support Mings. I really feel sorry for the guy because obviously he has to be carrying the dead weight of a cancer, and all those defenders, Chambers, and all those persons. So at times he has to overcompensate, and then the football idiots, the ones who think they know football but they don't really know it. Oh, Mings, look at that. When really and truly it's not his mistake, but he's just trying to cover up for a mistake that was made earlier. Right, so I really hope Mings put in his transfer request and just go to a club that is appreciated.
Construction site.
And again, listen, boss. The man said Kem's not Ryan, boss. I mean the man I talk to. Host, control your show now, boss. Stop trying to disrespect your show. But listen, I'll say this, and for the new viewers, I'll just run through it really quickly. All that happened was that the egotistical Steven Gerrard decided that he wanted to take the captaincy away from Tyrone Mings and give it to a guy named John McGinn, right? And obviously, the team didn't respond well. And I came here. I was the first one to come on this particular platform. And what did I say? I said, Steven Gerrard will not win a game until Tyrone Mings is in the starting lineup. The very next game, Mings in the starting lineup, and they got a victory, right? But it was a little too late because Mr. Steven Gerrard allowed his ego to get the best of him. Obviously, Emery come in and see that McGinn is nothing special, nothing good, drop him immediately to the bench because he's just not good enough, right? No, let's say that. So with that being said, when Mings handed his transfer request, I guarantee you he will make England Euro side, Nation League side, World Cup team, because at that point in time, he doesn't have to overcompensate. He needs a strong partner. Partner up with a John Stones, partner up with a Connor Cody, those kind of players. Not a concern them buggy. No. To your question, Josh, do I think that people should put Leon Bailey in their fantasy team? Yeah. Absolutely not. You'll be crazy to do that. And if you want to get 1 point, then you can do that. Because I don't know if he's going to start or what. But again, listen. At times, every footballer come out and them have a 1 or 2 good game. It's going to happen, right? So if you had catch that Leon Bailey wave, the last against Manchester United where they win, then good for you. But it's not going to happen again. What were you asking me? What was the question before that about the kick when get?
No, nobody never asked about that. I spoke about
that.
You talk about the game.
Oh, if I think he's going to score. Yeah. I don't know, but no. If you're asking me, no, I don't think he's going to score. Right, Leon Bailey, listen, Leon Bailey is not somebody I rate highly. I have nothing personal. I don't know the young man. I know people who know him, but I don't know him personally. But listen, I just don't think he works hard enough. I think he can work a little bit harder. I think he can pay attention more to his craft. I think that if he works the same way how he parties, I think that he'll be an excellent footballer. And that is just, and that's just the honest truth. I'm like hanging out with guys like you said, both of the world and so on. Both can party because both have already accomplished everything he needed to. Leon Bailey have accomplished nothing, right? I mean, obviously he's been playing in England, so I guess that's good. But on the grand scheme of things, I don't think he'll score. I think he's an okay footballer. Still haven't seen him showed up for Jamaica up until now. We are waiting for the England Leon Bailey to show up. I hear he's the best Jamaican ever touch a ball. Such disrespect to Luton Shelton, such disrespect to Dean Burton, such disrespect to Ricardo Fuller, such disrespect to even the great Walter Boyd, such disrespect to these players who have blood, sweat, and tears for Jamaica. I'm sorry?
Dean Burton.
Oh, you mean?
Onandilo.
All of these players who show up for Jamaica, all of these players who go out there and put it out. I haven't seen Leon Bailey done everything for Jamaica, but give away the ball and turn over and put him on his side. So, but
what? Brother, I'm the one who came here and said Leon Bailey is Yaya Sunogo in a Jamaica jersey, boss. if everybody remember Yaya Sunogo from Arsenal, that's exactly how Leon Bailey looks for Jamaica.
So,
but he's playing well.
So this game, I think Trossard will show Leon Bailey how to play some real football. I think Trossard will dominate this game. And again, I'm really sorry for the top 6 defender Tyron Mings because he will have to work overtime in order to prevent. Are you the host, boss? Yo, Josh.
Yes, pretty much. Might as well.
Josh, talk to him, Josh, please.
Yeah, it's right. Let him finish.
Thank you.
Again?
Thank you. So I'm going at 3. I'm going at 3-1. Brighton win.
All right, Ryan. What do you mean of that game?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Leon Bailey for kicking Martinez because if somebody help me and get away with it, I am going to retaliate. Straight up.
I have done it before. I have done it before on football field. Somebody kick me, I'm a find a way.
We don't promote violence on sports.
Yo, listen, I own a Man U fans need to stop me.
Sorry, I am sorry, but that is just how I see it. I am glad,
right.
and the referee understood, which is why I never get a red card. Now they are even, right. and now they get to move on.
I don't think they have moved on though. That game at Old Trafford, I think.
What?
I think the Butcher. That game at Old Trafford.
No, I mean it is now even, and I hope they move. I hope they understand that it is now even, and they can move on.
Yeah,
if anybody retaliates after that, it's going to become 2-1, and the other person needs to retaliate for that. I just want to live my life. I am sorry. Exactly. So
only Ryan, only Man U fans have a problem with the Man U.
Only them.
Only Man U.
Apparently, my man never did nothing. It never happened. But anyway,
not only Man U fans, people who like to watch football for football. This is not wrestling.
So why the Argentina guy wrestle?
Well,
anyway, you get to talk and you tell me something about it to interrupt you. You told me not to interrupt you when you were speaking. My time now, sir.
You're right.
Yeah, the game itself. We all know what happened when Leon Bailey catch form. Injuries right around the corner. We all know that. So let us not think him going to go on a 10-15 game run a form. That's not going to happen. But let us hope that when he gets injured, it's just a small one. For Jamaica's sake. The game, I think it will be an interesting game. I don't know if Emery will get back to his conservative self this quickly because those first 2 games, Aston Villa were not as conservative as the typical Emery team would be. But
in EPL?
Yeah. No, in Emery, being Emery, anyway at all.
No, when he's coaching Villarreal, they were.
Yeah, he wasn't conservative in that Champions League game at all.
When he was coaching Villarreal, he's not generally conservative.
In La Liga, for the most part. But anyway,
coaching Arsenal though was very, very conservative.
And PSG. Right. So he's a good coach, and so is the other guy from Brighton. And I think it will be an interesting game. I expect good football from both teams, so I think I'll go with that 2-1 draw.
All right, and Ryan, still with you. Our last game for the weekend fixtures is a very tough one. Some people think that Fulham was robbed last week and they should have actually hold out in that game against Man City away. But on Sunday at 11:30 Jamaican time, they are at home, right? To Manchester United. That's that lost last week. What do you make of that game?
They're at home to Man U.
Yeah. And
Well,
just to let you guys know, they are at home to Manchester United, and there's only a difference of 4 points. There are 19 points, United on 23. Not really much of a big difference.
Craven, cut it.
Yeah, and
well,
they're at home, and they have been tough against all big sides.
yeah, they have been very good this season for some strange reason.
Yes, some reason they play well against the big teams.
Yeah, they played well when they had Mitrovic. There will be no Mitrovic.
Yeah,
We saw what Mitrovic did to Van Dijk, so
yeah, but there will be no Mitrovic. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, that's a big loss for them. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's a big loss. And I actually would want them to win that game. I don't really like Fulham. They are our direct rivals, even though they are not much of a rival. But that said, I don't really like Fulham as a team. But if in that game, I would be happy if they win. But I'm not sure they can pull it off without Mitrovic. So I think that other team will win 2-1.
All right,
them have the Chelsea legend though.
3-0 Manchester United.
3-0 Manchester United. All right,
Them have the Chelsea legend.
And I must say, when David De Gea keeps his clean sheet, I hope he rubs it into that coach. That coach Felipe Maimia.
Let's talk about that. Let me ask you a quick question, Dimo. All right. If you are a player, would you be okay going to the World Cup knowing you will never play a minute in the World Cup? Would you be okay with just going?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't know that, but I would want to go.
No, I'm asking you, boss, if you're a player.
I would be.
I'm saying yes, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Some players will get injured. Kim's giving the reason that even though they know that they're not number one, but it's a possibility that the number one might get injured.
I would be okay with that because at least we get to go to the World Cup.
Sometimes when a player get injured, then an next player took that.
When the records come up, it will show that I went to a World Cup.
Yeah, that's
even if I just for the vibes, me still got.
Look here, Areola went to the World Cup, and he was never capped. He went to the World Cup uncapped, came back from the World Cup uncapped, but came back with a gold medal.
Because Lloris.
Kim's what you make of that game? That Manchester United away to Fulham.
So as you said, no Mitrovic. I think that's huge. We all saw what he did to Van Dijk. I think he kind of set the tone for Van Dijk Liverpool performances this season. Where players feel like saying we can just take him on easy cheesy lemon squeezy. I'm not sure the update. I think when I'd watched the press conference, I don't really remember what Ten Hag did say about Anthony. I don't know if you can tell me if he's ready and good to go. But I want Anthony in the team. That other guy that they said they're not sure about, Cristiano, I don't really care. Neither here nor there. I think United will win this game. Obviously, being embarrassed by Aston Villa, and then coming back to beat them in the EFL Cup. I think again going into the World Cup, I don't think it's going to be momentum for after the World Cup. But I think going into the World Cup, have the lads feeling good. Get a last run out with the team. So I think that United will win this game. They should win this game. I'm going anyway. I'm going 2-0. I'm going 2-0 Manchester United.
Well, Josh, just ask when as Manchester United fans, is it a coincidence that you guys played? I mean, obviously not the same personnel in the opposition, but you played Aston Villa twice, once in the league, once in the cup. Is it a coincidence that you guys lost the one in the league with Cristiano Ronaldo and then played so well without him in the cup?
No.
It's a coincidence. The stats are showing this season that United has done much better without him. I think they're the games that there were some stats I was looking at last week, and they have won more games without him.
Yeah. But besides the stats, I shouldn't ask Josh. Not
a coincidence.
Because Kims don't really work with the stats like that. But just watching them Kims, do they play differently without him than with him?
Yeah. Alright, aside from the stats, before Kim's answer, aside from the stats, what I noticed in terms of their playing, it seems that the players are very tentative in actually the attacking players, right? Are very tentative in trying to pass the ball in the back,
but I'm hearing the opposite. I'm hearing that he's not being fed.
And one of the reasons might be for that is that if they don't pass the ball to Chrissy, he's going to throw up his hand in the air and start to act up, right? And it seems that they're afraid of him.
Yeah, but I'm hearing that he's not getting fed. I'm hearing that they're not giving him the ball.
That's what they're trying to do. They are trying to play to give him the ball.
Yeah, so like I think so. I kind of agree with Josh. You know, when I watch the games, I think at times you have players that they have a particular chance right in front of them, and them see Christie right or so.
Right.
They don't want the chance no more. They want to force it to give Christie because obviously. And listen, the man is great. You know, big personality. Obviously, you know, when you have greatness in your team, it's just human trait, right? You know, you want to make sure it's like you don't want to disappoint this person.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want this person. You know, like you have a big brother. You know, when your big brother mad at you, you know, so you always want to try to find a way to appease him, right? And I think that comes as a detriment to the team because again, certain runs Cristiano now make when the ball there's somewhere Cristiano now go for that, right? But I think when he's not in the team, it's more fluid. Yeah. There's no big personality. Everybody knows all right then. Yeah, back to business. Everybody at work. Everybody at press. Everybody at this. Everybody at that. Cristiano, obviously, at this age, he comes with a lot of limitations as well. So then, when something with him now do, another person have to overcompensate for that as well. And then, you know, it's just too much. And I think, obviously, Ten Hag should have, you know, really and truly just cut him loose. You know, and I know it go with the legend thing, and you know, or look for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Nobody wanted him.
Huh?
Nobody wanted him to who? Cut him loose.
Chelsea board wanted him, but not Tuchel.
Yeah, nobody wanted him.
Well,
and then again, last season when he came to Man United, I predicted all of this. I said Bruno Stats was going to go down goal scoring wise. I said that he's going to slow up the front line. I called all of this. This is not a surprise.
Yeah.
Some people are just late to it, but it is happening. It happened last season, and it is showing up worse now this season. So all of this I knew was going to happen, and I said it was going to happen from August of last year.
And a lot of persons are saying that, and I don't know if Ono agree, but a lot of persons are saying that Ten Hag is deliberately like trying to like shame him. You know, because I guess they asked him a question, right?
Who's that in the comment section want me to embarrass them?
Huh?
Who's that in the comment section want me to embarrass them? But I'm lying. Why do I need to lie about this when I have the post?
Owen Green.
That's Owen Green.
Yeah. This person still here or something? I have the post.
Yeah, Ryan did say that. But so they're saying that I think Ten Hag had said that Cristiano was his 5th choice for captain for one of them games, And I guess, you know, the media come out and say, you know, Ten Hag should just shut his mouth. Every step he's going,
it's respectful.
He's trying to listen. And this is how I view Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag doesn't see names, doesn't see number, doesn't see history. The man just see how you play the football. That's all him see. And if you're not good enough, you're just a good enough boss. And Ronaldo just haven't been good enough. And you know, obviously, I think sometimes he tried to. All right, let me put Ronaldo. Like for example, the game against, which I think it was a game against, was it Real Sociedad? I think it was that game. And you know, when you see Ronaldo play certain games, even though Ronaldo is not my footballer, it makes you sad. It's like, brother, like, you know, a kind of time right now. A kind of time for you just, you just
hang up the boots.
Yeah, just like when I saw Messi that first season for PSG, I felt that way. I was like, Messi. Yeah. Really? No, he was Messi. Messi was last for PSG.
He was human, but he wasn't last. The man there crazy.
But this Messi now and that Messi are two different kind of Messi right now. Messi look like him backing at the groove. then I think he was still probably hurt from Barcelona and everything that was going on, the emotional roller coaster. But every time I watch Ronaldo, and I'm saying, all right, then, I'm not like you, but just a good performance, just for you. Just bad, poor, body language poor. This and you see him try, and obviously when him, Tenant send him for warm up, I want to send him on at the 88th minute. Or him too big, him too big for that. You can everything is just sad all around. And know him want to go a team and play Champions League. He thought that he had that same pull. Nobody know want him. Sporting come out and say, hey, we can't afford this guy. No, we're good. And it seemed like nobody wants him. And it's just like, damn, I was once this great footballer, and now I'm just another guy.
What side is him standing over free kick still? But carry on, Josh.
Okay, so basically you're saying that it's time for him to go to MLS.
I'm asking you guys that.
Either MLS or just call it a day, brother. After this World Cup.
What about when some persons were saying that Messi was not doing anything last season, so it's time that he hung up the boots. But then now he's back on form this season. Do you think that can happen with Chris, or age is not on his side?
But the thing with Messi, he wasn't scoring as much, but he was still assisting. He was
very creative too.
Yeah, and he was still creative. But we just know that, hey, like Messi didn't get as bad as Ronaldo. Like this Ronaldo, this is terrible. Like this is terrible. Like this is bad. Like this is really bad. And I don't know what's going to happen in the World Cup with Portugal. Obviously, he's going to get some penalties, 2 penalties and score them, and the fans go wild. Yeah, Man U fault, Man U for free Ronaldo, blah 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 blah. But just looking at his gameplay, just isolating and studying his game.
He is one goal out of the last 9 appearances for Portugal.
And then, oh no, I never know that.
Today I looked at the numbers.
One goal in his last
9 games for Portugal.
Just wait till him score a penalty in the World Cup and you see what going on. Be a pot cover. The Jamaican lovers them. Yeah. But I think it's time for him. He has worked his way to greatness. And I think, normally players like this should just leave on top. Don't wait until they start decline all the way. When you're on top, right, so like when you see him leave from Real Madrid and then Juventus, I say, oh no, through the door now. I think that was the time when you say, probably let me just pivot and just call it a deal.
Well, he might leave on top lifting that Europa League trophy, One last thing to him, boy.
Or the EFL.
It would be so degrading to see Cristiano Ronaldo lift up for you, but not a joke.
Anyway, I hope neither Messi or Ronaldo wins the World Cup.
Yeah,
why? Why not?
I don't want them win the World Cup. I can't bother with the noise, man.
Bro, if any one of them want to win the World Cup, it's going to be 5 years. And who are the greatest?
Is it going to be too much noise? 5 years or what?
It's going to be 5 years, somebody said. Whichever one of them win, it's going to be 5 years and them are the GOAT. See? You have a World Cup. No.
Too much noise pollution. I can't bother with it.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. This is it for our EPL preview. Final EPL preview before Qatar World Cup. Your final minute, guys. Dima.
Yeah, so my final minute is, guys, it's going to be it first. I know we didn't do any schoolboy football, big up Mona, and we're not doing a World Cup thing.
Yes, tell them about the schoolboy football.
We want me to tell them, say.
Yeah, you're getting somebody for us next week. We're supposed
yeah. Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we'll have somebody on to talk about the schoolboy football, which I think he probably soon done. Because I think a semi-finals was played today.
So why not Brad Van Kems?
And JC. No, why am I for Brad Van Kems?
Miss the chance to brag on you?
No, I'm not waste my minute on that. So we'll get somebody who is always at the games. They do interviews with schoolboys and all that stuff. So I'll get them to come on the show for you guys pretty soon, hopefully before the Manning Cup and the whole schoolboy season finish, because I am not versed in that. I mean, I watch games and stuff, I'm a follow Mona results and things, but I can't go in depth in a schoolboy thing, right? And I know we didn't do a World Cup show for cricket. or World Cup show for football. I guess that will come soon as well. But big up on yourself. We're going to go on the EPL break and enjoy the World Cup, bring out the flags and all of that. And my final 20 seconds. Big shout out to Raheem Cornwall, who now has a PSL contract in Pakistan, a T20 contract in Dubai. No, a PSL contract in Pakistan, that's T20, a Dubai contract, which is the T10 with all the stars getting the Dubai money, and a Bangladesh T20 contract. So he's there now, showing the world what he can do in the T20 and T10 leagues and making that money. So shout out to Raheem Cornwall. Obviously, the big leagues think that he's good enough. He might soon get an IPL contract. So shout out Jimbo. Big up yourself. I'm going.
Kems don't think he's good enough. Kems, your final minute.
As regards to the Manning Cup, obviously, the teams who are going to the semifinals are solidified. One group is already, so JC won their group, starts game second. And then tomorrow, it's going to be KC versus Mona to see who finishes first. Obviously, whoever finishes second in that group, are going to play JC. Who finish first, are going to play Stats, right? Yeah, so, that is what it is. Obviously, Mona beat Georges 1-0. And I think I said it in our little WhatsApp group. I just don't think Georges was good enough on that day, right? Obviously, in a game, I get chances and so. But at the end of the day, it's a results business, right? And, Mona got the result and, so they go on to the semifinals. It's going to be, I think more than likely it's going to be Mona versus JC and KC versus Stats, because the team
what's your prediction for that game? Mona to beat KC?
No, I think KC is going to win.
Oh, KC is going to win.
KC team, I know we are beating them 4-2 or whatever, but I'm telling you, KC team in a normal, brother.
All right, if it draw, who wins the group though? Who is on top right now as it is?
KC.
So if it draw, KC win the group.
Yeah, because I'm from goal difference, because KC beat Charlie Smith 5-0. And I think Mona and Charlie Smith was like 3-1 or 4-1 or something like that.
It's looking like KC versus JC finals.
But hold on. So this morning, me here on the radio, Whisper, who is the top dog for KC, in a Craig Butler car, who is the coach of Mona, and them a driver with a taxi me because of this Phoenix thing. How that work? You cannot talk to your rivals like that. Say Craig Butler good influence Whisper for like, I don't understand why that can happen.
No, well,
I mean,
my Phoenix coach, so
yes, but them are play against each other. Like what?
So I'll tell you this, boss. And this is one of the things where it's when you come on to schoolboy football, Whisper, the username Whisper, talented baller.
So he's the best schoolboy footballer right now. You agree with that?
Right now, he's one of the best. I mean, it's hard to quantify what is the best, but he's
we don't really know what is really out there.
Yeah, he's one of the best though. But I'll tell you this: when that man touch a field versus Mona, you're not gonna laugh off a Craig Butler, when he might dribble out Mona field, right? And then after the game, the two of them attack again like it's nobody business. I just saw it going at the nowadays thing. Everybody's just friends nowadays. Back then, in my days, everybody was going for each other head. Now everybody had his friend and laughing, and so on and so forth. Obviously, quickly in basketball, I don't know what's going on with the Lakers. Right now, I'm not even watch basketball no more because it's so heartbreaking, it's so heart-wrenching. I can't stand to see LeBron just losing. Right now, the Lakers are 2-9. At the bottom of the Western Conference. It's just like that's not LeBron is synonymous with winning, not losing. This is unfamiliar territory for Mr. James. And that's it. Looking to continue my run in fantasy, of course. On top. And last thing, big up to the great cricketer, the great Guyanese, Shiv Narayan Chandapal.
Right.
I know Demo call for the bug captain the paint, but if you want to talk about real paint, that's his
Chandapal. That's his nickname.
Wait, Chandapal
Huh?
Chandapal a coach now?
No, but he went into the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. It was honored.
Yeah, and you see, Jimmy Adams gave him that nice tribute.
Jamaicans have a special love for Shonda Paul.
Yes.
Yeah,
when I saw Gina them make the post, hundreds of comments.
Yes, man.
They have a special. Right,
legend.
Ryan,
West Indies did him dirty though.
Yeah, Jamaica tend to like humble people.
Yeah, he's humble, right? And
For
then
some reason.
we always see him as a savior whenever West Indies trying to eke out a win, and they put him on in the last moment, and he always hit some sixes.
I know what
You know
what unique thing.
Dima, you weren't watching cricket those times, like in 2000.
That is true. In ODI, Dimo, yeah, man.
In games, in ODI, West Indies always
in ODI.
Just make Shonda Paul so like Chris Gayle, boss.
Hey,
he was
the unique
They win with some ODI, man.
I think
against Sri Lanka.
Right?
And New Zealand.
He won as ODI against New Zealand as well.
Yeah, man, where they won about 20 after 1 over and he beat Tuffy.
3-6 or something like that.
All I'm saying, he wasn't consistent doing that. But go on, Kim.
One of the unique things about Shonda Paul too is just his stance. You know, his batting stance, things like that. You know, obviously, you know, the Darren Bravos and them, like things like that we get, quote unquote, people who are not like really big cricketers. But my biggest memory of Shonda Paul was when, and you guys will carry me with the details, I think man they on him porch and somebody must have tried a broke in and him shoot them. I said, they go?
No, man, the man he went up on the beach and the police shine flashlights on him face.
Yeah.
And him just shoot. Which is right. You don't know what shine like me feel.
That's your biggest memory of Shonda Paul.
I mean, obviously apart from cricket.
All right, Ryan, you're in the final minute.
All right, yeah. So schoolboy football, whatever happens, hopefully KC does not win, anybody but KC. Cricket, England Pakistan final. I was hoping for India Pakistan final for the vibes, but England Pakistan is going to be a good vibes nonetheless, because either team can win, either team can lose. You never know how they're going to turn up on the day. Pakistan deserves it based on after what happened last year with that last over versus Australia. Some way they found a way to lose that match. I don't know how. Still, and if Pakistan wins, they will be on 2 trophies now with West Indies. I don't think England has won. They've never won it, Demo.
When win it, we beat them, and I think we beat them in the finals, and then go win it.
They win. England win T20.
No man, them win the T20 World Cup already.
Yeah.
Oh, they win it before.
Yeah.
Okay, so either way, somebody going to be on 2 with us.
Yeah.
All right.
Either way, somebody's going to be on 2. All right.
Okay.
I thought England only made finals but didn't win them.
Hey man, they win one already, man. They are on one.
Okay, but they have one.
Yeah, D Cup tomorrow, guys. So we will have Chester playing tomorrow. With a win, Chester will be in the semifinals.
Bug team.
No, Chester has been the most consistent country team.
No, boss. Stop it.
Kems, you need to understand. Kems, you need to understand. Footballers are not just in Kingston.
No.
Footballers are not just in Kingston.
Well, we know that, but
you have been the most consistent.
Yeah, but you can't because.
Boss, may I tell you?
Anyway, we never done.
It said that schoolboy football this year, the best team is from country, Clarendon College. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah. Chester coming like England in the Euros, get the better part of the draw and just sneak them way for go through.
Yeah, but
anyway, all the best, Josh. Hopefully Chester does well.
And into another semifinals.
Hopefully Chester does well. I am Manchester by birth. So hopefully Chester does well. Yes. And for the football that is coming up, the last round of games, I hope the footballers who have gone called up for the World Cup do not get hurt. It would be too much of a disappointment for them to get hurt at the last hurdle. So I hope everybody.
That's why many persons thinking that the fixture is going to be very tentative.
Yeah, because I remember when before the season began, they said that the top 6 teams would not play on the final day. So I don't know what happened after that. I don't know if it was.
Why did they release the squads now? Why did they never wait until after the final match to release the squad?
Because I don't know. I really don't know. Because the deadline is Is it 13? So they had time to wait. They had time to wait. But there must be some logic to it, because if most teams have done that, then there must be a reason why. So I don't know. But it is what it is, but hopefully nobody gets hurt, and everybody will get picked for the World Cup, can actually make it to the World Cup and represent their country to the best of their ability.
So that's it, guys. Big up to Bones, who was here earlier. Had to run off to a game. Big up to Ryan, Deema, and Kems that is currently on the panel. And big up to our commenters in the chat, Kish, Raj, Owen, Michelle, and others that were here earlier. So guys, remember our last preview show. We have a review show on Monday for our final fixtures of EPL before the World Cup. So see you guys on Monday.
Yes, sir.
And enjoy the weekend. Live good.
Blessings.